What makes Islamic inheritance law Faraid so mathematically intricate? Imagine trying to split a cake among friends, but each friend has a different claim, and the rules for sharing are set by a divine code. That's what Islamic inheritance law, called Faraid, is like. It's not just about dividing assets. It's a precise system that follows specific fractions laid out in the Quran. This makes it a complex puzzle that needs careful calculation to ensure everyone gets their rightful share without leftovers or disputes. When you think about halal estate planning or managing wealth in a way that aligns with Islamic principles, understanding why these calculations are so detailed becomes very important. The process starts with clear steps. First, funeral expenses and debts are paid off. Then, if there is a valid bequest which is limited to 1/3 of the estate, it is fulfilled. The remaining estate is what gets divided among heirs. These heirs include spouses, parents, children, and sometimes other relatives. Each has a fixed share, like a husband receiving 1/4, a wife 1/8, and each parent 1/6. Children also have specific rules. A son usually gets twice the share of a daughter. These shares are not random. They are prescribed in the Quran, making the system very structured. The real challenge lies in the fractions. Shares are expressed as parts like 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, or 1/8. To divide the estate fairly, you need to find a common base number, called the Aslul Mazela, which allows all these fractions to be converted into whole numbers. For example, if the estate is worth $50,000, and the shares are 1/4, 1/6, and to shares for the son, you need to find the lowest common denominator that can turn all these fractions into whole dollar amounts. This process ensures that each heir's portion is a whole number, making the distribution clear and exact. Let's say a woman passes away leaving a husband, a son, and two daughters. The husband gets 1/4 of the estate, each parent gets 1/6, and the children's shares are in a 2-to-1 ratio, with the son getting 2 parts and each daughter 1 part. If the total estate is $50,000, the calculations would be straightforward. The husband gets $12,500, each parent gets $8,333, the son gets $10,000, and each daughter gets $5,000. These numbers add up perfectly, showing how precise the system is. Sometimes the fixed shares don't add up to the entire estate. In those cases, the leftover, called the residue, goes to certain relatives known as residuaries, often male relatives. If there are no residuaries, the fixed shares are increased proportionally to make sure the entire estate is distributed. If the shares exceed the estate, they are reduced proportionally. These adjustments keep the distribution fair and in line with divine rules, even in complex situations. This mathematical approach has a long history. It helped early Muslim scholars develop algebra because they needed to solve inheritance problems accurately. Today, these rules are used in modern Islamic estate planning tools and calculators. They help Muslims plan their wealth transfer in ways that are compliant with Sharia law, avoiding interest-based solutions, and ensuring that wealth passes to heirs as prescribed. This is especially useful in complex family situations, like blended families or multiple marriages, where precise calculations prevent conflicts and protect everyone's rights. Understanding Faraid is essential for anyone involved in halal investing or wealth management. It guarantees that wealth is transferred fairly, according to divine instructions, and helps avoid disputes among heirs. These calculations are not just about math, they are about justice, fairness, and fulfilling religious obligations. So, the mathematical intricacy of Islamic inheritance law comes from the need to assign exact fractional shares, find a common base number, and make sure the entire estate is distributed without remainder. It's a system that combines divine guidance with precise calculations, shaping how wealth is passed down through generations in a way that respects both faith and fairness.